Blast off into a world of wonder as NASA unveils their groundbreaking plan to build a permanent base on the moon, a feat that has never been achieved before in human history. From state-of-the-art technology to bold innovations in engineering, join us on an incredible journey that will take us closer than ever before to the mysteries of our lunar neighbor. Are you ready to witness the next giant leap for mankind? Then buckle up and prepare for an adventure of a lifetime. Humans haven't set foot on the moon in more than a half-century, but NASA's Artemis program is going to send them back with a series of missions beginning in early September. When the first astronaut plants her boots in the lunar soil in 2025 as part of Artemis I, assuming the current schedule holds, it will be the start of an even more ambitious project than sending humans back to the moon. NASA plans to construct a base camp somewhere among the gray dust and craggy rocks of the moon's south pole. The camp will be small. NASA says the camp is going to start small, only facilitating missions of a week or two, but as the camp grows in size and sophistication, the agency hopes to sustain crews for up to 2 months at a time. Current plans call for a lunar cabin, an open-top rover similar to the kind used in the Apollo missions, and something akin to an RV that would provide mobility, while allowing astronauts to live and work away from the base for days or weeks at a time. On each new trip, astronauts are going to have an increasing level of comfort with the capabilities to explore and study more of the moon than ever before, said Kathy Luters, Associate Administrator for Human Spaceflight at NASA, in a statement. With more demand for access to the moon, we are developing the technologies to achieve an unprecedented human and robotic presence 240,000 miles from home. Our experience on the moon this decade will prepare us for an even greater adventure in the universe, a human exploration of Mars. How do they plan to make? NASA's plan to build a permanent base on the moon involves several key components. First, they will send a series of robotic missions to the moon to conduct experiments and gather data on the terrain, environment, and available resources. This will allow them to better understand the challenges of living and working on the lunar surface. Then, they will send human crews to the moon to begin building the infrastructure for a permanent base, including habitats, power systems, and life support systems. The base will be designed to be self-sustaining, using local resources such as water and minerals to support human life. In addition, NASA plans to use the moon as a staging area for future missions to Mars and beyond. This ambitious plan represents a major step forward in the exploration of space and the potential for human habitation beyond Earth. Intro to Artemis. Since the Artemis program's introduction in 2019, its timeline has stretched out a bit. The original plan was to set up the first iteration of the base camp by 2030, but an internal planning document obtained by the outlet Ars Technica suggests it may be more like 2034. That might seem like a long way off, but around the world teams of scientists and engineers are already hard at work to make the dream of humans living on the moon a reality. Here are 4 things we understood about Artemis Base. NASA will seek out crucial resources at the lunar South Pole site. A South Pole location for the lunar base offers astronauts 2 crucial ingredients: periods of continuous light from the sun and deep craters with depths that have been shrouded in darkness for billions of years. Because of the way the moon is tilted relative to the sun, its South Pole experiences periods of up to 2 months of continuous light each year, with the sun circling just above the horizon the whole time. All this sunlight can provide the Artemis base camp with ample solar power. NASA is currently exploring designs that hold a solar array more than 30 feet in the air to make the most of the available sunlight, says Prasan Desai, the Deputy Associate Administrator of NASA's Space Technology Mission Directorate. The same tilt that creates months of continuous illumination at the lunar poles also means some of its craters have shadowed areas that haven't seen the sun since the crater's formation. A new rover will let astronauts explore the moon without leaving base camp. The Lunar Terrain Vehicle, LTV, will be the first big step toward establishing a base camp. It is scheduled to arrive on a mission sometime after Artemis II in 2025. Greg Chavers, the director of the Technical Integration Office in NASA's Exploration Systems Development Mission Directorate, says it will be possible to operate the new moon buggy remotely, and that the rover will also have some ability to autonomously avoid hazards like rocks and craters. Astronauts will be able to explore the moon without spacesuits. While the LTV's autonomy and remote-controlled capabilities are powerful innovations, its fundamental design isn't likely to deviate much from the rovers that have come before it. To drive the open-top LTV, astronauts need to don their spacesuits, and that's where NASA's concept for a lunar mobile home enters wholly uncharted territory from an engineering standpoint. NASA's RV-like concept, dubbed the Habitable Mobility Platform, will have a pressurized interior with life support systems, meaning passengers can safely ride inside without spacesuits on. This makes life easier for the astronauts, as putting on a spacesuit can take hours and isn't always comfortable, and it also means that crewed forays across the lunar surface can last longer and travel farther than ever before. In unpressurized rovers like the LTV, mission duration is limited by how long the oxygen in each astronaut's spacesuit lasts. Moon rocks and lunar dust could shape the base camp's appearance. The lunar cabin seems poised to capture the imaginations of the world, as science fiction has been conjuring what dwellings in space might look like for generations. While the design has not been finalized, Chavers says NASA is looking at modular and inflatable structures as ways of creating larger habitable spaces on the moon that are compact and lightweight in transit. Another intriguing possibility Chavers mentioned is a large-scale 3D printer that uses moon dust or rock as its raw material. He says a machine like this could manufacture bricks or other shapes and either assemble a dwelling from scratch or augment one brought from Earth. Indeed, Chavers says a 3D printer prototype is currently building a test structure in Houston. In conclusion, NASA's plan to build a base on the moon is a bold and exciting endeavor that has the potential to revolutionize space exploration and open up new opportunities for humanity. With cutting-edge technology, innovative ideas, and a dedicated team of scientists and engineers, NASA is poised to make history and pave the way for future generations. As we look to the skies with wonder and anticipation, we can only imagine the possibilities that lie ahead as we embark on this incredible journey to the moon and beyond. If you enjoyed the video, kindly subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on our videos.